Hey everyone, and welcome! You know those little words like come and go? They pop up everywhere, especially in idioms that can be, well, a little tricky. But we're going to tackle them today. And trust me, getting these right is going to make your English sound so much more natural. Ready? Let's dive right in. Okay, I want you to picture something. You've just booked that perfect vacation. A cruise. You know, the kind you see in movies. Sailing on calm waters under a big, beautiful moon. It's everything you've ever wanted. Basically, a dream come true. And hey, there's our first idiom. It just means something is as wonderful as you imagined it would be.
But, hang on, what happens when that perfect picture starts to crumble? You know that feeling when a situation is already not great, and then suddenly, bam, it gets even worse? That's exactly when we use the idiom, things go from bad to worse. A bit traumatic, I know, but super useful.
Now, before we officially set sail on our story, let's play a little game. It's a quick challenge to test your instincts. I'm going to show you a couple of sentences, and you just have to decide, should it be come or go? Simple as that. Let's see how you do.
Okay, here's the first one. Languages don't blank easily to me. What do you think goes in that blank? Come or go? Just think about it for a second. How would you describe something that's a bit of a struggle for you to learn? What sounds right to your ear?
And the answer is come. Did you get it? Languages don't come easily to me. When something comes easily to you, it means you can learn it or do it without a lot of effort. So if they don't come easily, well, it just means you've got to put in a little more work. Totally normal. Okay, you ready for another one?
This phrase is a game changer for starting conversations. When it blank to sailing, I know almost nothing. So is it comes or goes? This one is super common.
Yep, it's comes again. When it comes to is the absolute perfect way to introduce a new subject. See? You're getting the hang of this. Now, let's take these idioms and see them in action in our little vacation story. It's time to get back on that cruise ship.
All right, so where were we? Our narrator booked a cruise, right? It was supposed to be a big, special treat, but things are about to get a little bumpy. This is where you'll really see how these idioms bring a story to life. So the story starts like this. As far as holidays are concerned, I usually choose something cheap. Now, there's nothing wrong with that sentence. It's perfectly correct. But could we make it sound a bit more, natural? More like how people actually talk? I think so. Does this ring a bell? Think back to that little quiz we just did. Which idiom could we swap in here to replace as far as holidays are concerned?
You got it. It's when it comes to. It's such a fantastic way to just zoom in on one specific topic you want to talk about.
Just listen how much smoother that sounds. When it comes to holidays, I usually choose something cheap. It's just so direct and conversational. Okay, so our narrator, who usually goes for cheap holidays, has decided to splurge on a cruise. But, there's a problem on the horizon.
So the story goes on. They're already feeling a bit disappointed, and then the text says, the situation got even worse when we finally found our accommodation. Yikes. This is the moment things really start to, fall apart.
So what's that perfect idiom for when things were already not so great and now they're just getting downright awful? Exactly. It's to go from bad to worse. It just perfectly captures that sinking feeling, doesn't it?
Let's pop that right into the story. The journey went from bad to worse when we finally found our accommodation. Wow. Can you feel the difference? It just adds so much more emotion and drama to this sentence. Okay, so things have officially gone from bad to worse. They've made it to their cabin. Let's open the door and see what the disaster looks like. The narrator puts it very politely. The accommodation simply wasn't satisfactory. It's very clear, very proper. But let's be honest, if you were really unhappy, you'd probably use something a little more punchy, right? A more colorful idiom.
And a great one for this situation is to come up to scratch. It basically means something is good enough or meets the standard you expect. We actually use it a lot in the negative to say something didn't meet the standard.
Let's try it out. The accommodation simply didn't come up to scratch. It's just such a fantastic, natural way to complain, really. It says that it failed to meet your expectations. So what do they do now? Well, they decide to speak up. They complain. And guess what? It actually works. The staff agrees to move them. So the story wraps up with a little lesson, which proves that complaining can work. Okay, last one for this story. How can we rephrase which proves? There's a brilliant little idiom for this. It just goes to show. You use this when you want to say that something is proof of a larger point or a lesson.
So let's plug that in, which just goes to show that complaining can work. It's the perfect way to wrap things up and share a conclusion. Wow, we really squeezed a lot of great idioms out of that one disastrous vacation, huh?
Whew, what a ride! We went from a dream vacation to a total disaster, and then back to a happy ending. Now let's do a quick recap of all those powerful come and go idioms we picked up along the way.
So here they are, all in one place. We started with what was supposed to be a dream come true, but things quickly went from bad to worse because the room just didn't come up to scratch. And we learned that when it comes to getting what you paid for, complaining can be effective, which just goes to show that it pays to speak up. We also covered how some things come easily to people, and a couple other handy ones like as far as goes and come to mind. Seriously, these are all fantastic tools to add to your English toolkit.
All right, now the ball is in your court. The absolute best way to make these idioms stick is to actually start using them. So my question for you is this. When it comes to all these new idioms, which one are you going to use first? Think about it. Thanks so much for joining me for this.